Can Trace slow start? This is not actually something I've ever had come up. Okay, no Protect coming out, no Shuka Berry. Are you Focus Sash? You are not. Okay, so now slow start triggers. Wait, did I Trace slow start?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Littleroot Laddering. So, today we're playing Jeremy Rodriguez's second place team from Indianapolis, consisting of Calyrex Ice and Reshiram. This team's actually really interesting and probably the team that definitely caught my eye the most over the past weekend. I have definitely been a huge fan of Calyrex Ice in this format, and I honestly think that the pairing with Reshiram really does help mitigate a lot of the weaknesses that Calyrex has on its own. Mainly the fact that you have a partner that is no longer weak to Zacian and in fact checks it really well, and two is also a special attacker, so you're not just being continuously spammed with Intimidate cycling. This is actually just a brilliant pairing, and something that honestly I really liked about the Palkia pairing as well, that when it was really popular, is that you just have this other axis you can attack from. But I think that Reshiram lines up way better against opposing Zacian, and that's something that we hadn't really seen until EUIC and then Indy as well. I believe there was 2 pairings of Reshiram Calyrex in top 8 at Indy, just off the top of my head. But this team also has some really additional fantastic piece of technology here with Tapu Fini. Big fan of this here on the team as well. Yes, it is a water type. No, we don't have water coverage because we don't really need it here. Nature's Madness is just going to do a flat 50% of whatever we need it to. Moonblast is going to help pick up additional KOs. Heal Pulse is to keep your Calyrex or your Reshiram or whatever you need healthy. And Mist is to prevent Intimidate cycling, and to prevent Parting Shot, and to prevent any stat drops that might come from your opponent's Dynamax. Mist is a fantastic piece of technology that I had not seen, and when it happened on stream I popped off hard because I thought it was amazing. The reveal of it was absolutely amazing, and I love it here. Of course, we also have P2 to match with our slow mode here. Eerie Impulse, Foul Play, Recover Trick Room. Pretty standard P2 in my opinion. I really like Eerie Impulse and Foul Play both in this format, and I think they're probably just the best in slot attacks in the current format. Then to round it out, of course, we have our pretty typical Incineroar. We are actually min speed Incin, I believe. I believe that is accurate. I had it pulled up. We are in fact min speed. So this is actually really interesting because not only is it going to allow us to get our Intimidates off after our opponent, but like we also need to be weary of getting hit with a fake out from our opposing Incin, but we also function better under Trick Room. So there's this really weird give and take when it comes to running min speed, and I hadn't seen it before today, and I'm actually really excited to play with it. And then to round out the other mode of the team of, not going completely slow every game, we have the fastest Pokemon in the format in Regieleki. Notably, we are not max speed. In fact, we're 116 modest, so nowhere near max speed in fact, which honestly I'm pretty okay with because like we're just going to do a ton of damage to our opponent, and you just outspeed everything besides opposing Elekis essentially. So I love this team. I have not played any games with it, so I'm really hoping I get to do this team justice today, but let's jump in and see what we can do. Alright, so we have Dialga Groudon here for game number 1. Naturally paired with Groudon, you have your Charizard, Incin, Rillaboom as well, and Amoonguss. It's interesting to see double Grass type plus Steel type on your Sun team here. I think I need a really decent way of dealing with their Dialga, which we have Calyrex for. I think I want to do... I like Eliki quite a bit. I like Reshiram quite a bit. I'm just trying to think if I would need to go slow here, and I think the answer is no, since they have
Amoonguss. I would rather go like somewhat fast here in the lead. I think I want these two, and then I think I want Ensign and Calyrex to round it out. Does this all make sense? I don't think I need Foul Play. Eerie Impulse could actually be really useful for Dialga. Is that something I'd want? I think my other Mons are just going to be able to deal with Dialga appropriately. This might be a punt not bringing it just to like completely mitigate their Dynamax, but I think this will be fine. It's going to be Charizard Amoonguss. It's actually really interesting because this counters both of my like modes of my team. Like if they want to go fast, they can. But if they also want to go slow mode, they have that option as well. So this is actually really interesting. I'm debating if I want to Dynamax immediately here, and if so, who do I want to Dynamax? I think I like the idea of just blue flaring the Amoonguss slot and going for a Dynamax and going for a Max Lightning into the Charizard. If they go for Rage Powder here, it gets redirected into Amoonguss, and I'm fine with that. If they don't, I get to potentially one-shot the Charizard. And that means that the Amoonguss can't Spore either of my Pokemon because I'm sitting Electric Terrain here. No switches coming out. And like, I debated Dynamaxing the Reshiram here, but I just don't want to set Sun for my opponent. Then Dynamaxing Charizard here tells me they're probably going for a Rage Powder. But like, this also just means I get to essentially deal with their Amoonguss here on turn 1. As long as I, barring I hit my Blue Flare, we should be fine. Yep, there's the Rage Powder. The question is how much does Eliki take from Charizard in the Sun? Well, outside the Sun, just in general. How much is Wildfire going to do to my Eliki? And Charizard should be faster than my Reshiram. Actually, not nearly as much as I anticipated. We do connect. We are going to essentially remove their Amoonguss here on turn 1. Obviously, redirecting the Max Lightning is whatever. Eliki is going to take a little chip here from Wildfire. But now, their Charizard is basically uncontested here. They're going to bring out Groudon here. I can go for either Blue Flare or Solar Beam. Blue Flare is going to be probably more damage because of Stab plus Sun. Solar Beam is also 100% accurate. Yeah, Blue Flare is also higher base damage. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, Max Lightning the Charizard slot here. They could Max Guard. That's completely fine. I'm okay with this. Question is Reshiram faster than... I am not. But they missed my Eliki. They are going to connect with Reshiram. And it's not enough to one-shot me. And we do connect the Blue Flare for a ton of damage into the Groudon. Solar Power is going to take effect here. I could... So this is interesting. I could go for... I think this turn we Solar Beam the Groudon. And Solar Beam the Groudon, and I can Max Strike the Charizard. This will lower the Groudon's speed so that Reshiram will then be faster than it without removing their Charizard. I think this is the play. Okay, they're going to withdraw Charizard. Are they going into Dialga here? No, they're going into Ensign. Also just fine for me. Yeah, casually doing 50% to Ensign here on the switch in is pretty great. And Solar Beam is now going to take the Groudon out. Perfect. So this way we play around the potential for Blue Flare miss. Charizard is still going to be faster than Reshiram, which could be problematic, but I also still have like my other restricted in the back. I still have my other mode on in the back here. So they have one turn of Wildfire. I think I'm fine to stay in here with Reshiram. I'm going to drop a Draco. And I don't want to lose Eliki yet, so I'm actually going to switch into Ensign here to get an Intimidate into their Ensign, potentially letting Reshiram live a Fake Out. And like also just reducing the damage from Ensign if they do have something scary here. Wonder if they have like Ancient Power on Charizard. Okay, there's the Fake Out into Ensign, completely fine by me. There's the Heat Wave, they do connect on both. But it's not going to be enough to take out my Reshiram, who is going to get to fire off a Draco here. And just cleanly one-shot them. Sick. So now Earth Power is going to be 180, but they also could be Shuka, so I think Blue Flare is probably the play. Yeah, opponent concurs that this game is in fact over. That was a sweet game. Kyogre Yveltal with Bronzong over there. Interesting. So I like Calyrex quite a bit here, except for potentially Foul Play on Yveltal. That is honestly pretty scary. Bronzong can also be pretty threatening, especially if they are Levitate. If they're Levitate, how do I deal with them? So I kind of like the idea of Feeny plus P2 up front, so I can potentially set a Mist to bring in Calyrex. And I think I want Reshiram here in the back over Eliki this game because they do have access to Raichu, and I don't want to get got. But I actually like Eliki quite a bit here. I think leading Eliki plus Ensign is good. Could do Eliki plus Reshiram. I actually really like Reshiram. I talked myself into it. I do want Eliki, but I think I want P2 up front so I can potentially set Trick Room with Eliki and Calyrex in the back. Feeny could be good here. I actually think I want Feeny over Eliki. Just because they have Urshifu, they have this Yveltal. We can do Nature's Madness into Bronzong, pick up, you know, a good chunk there, let whatever else pick up the KO. Okay, so it is just going to be Raichu plus Kyogre here. So turn one, I can get hit with a Fake Out, which I don't really like. I am Dynamaxing Reshiram here on turn one. Oh, that's interesting. So I could Blue Flare, I could Max Quake, I could Overgrowth. Blue Flare is going to do the most because I removed the weather from the Kyogre this turn. I think I like this. And I think I like going into Feeny, anticipating them to Geyser into my my Porygon this turn. They could also just click Water Spout, and if they do, I'm completely fine with that as well. Do they Dynamax is the question. They do. Okay. So unless this is a Dynamax Raichu, which I don't anticipate here, there is the Kyogre. Why does Kyogre have teeth, guys? I just don't understand. Why is it so creepy when it has teeth? So I don't want to switch in Porygon next turn because I could potentially trace Drizzle, and that would be bad. So I think I had to stay in with Feeny this next turn and probably just go for a Heal Pulse into Reshiram. I do need to be weary of Eerie Impulse, but they were guaranteed not to go for it this turn because I had Lightning Rod on the field. Feeny does take a solid chunk there. But now I remove their weather for a turn at least. So now I want to Quake the Raichu to remove it. Get that special defense boost. If I switch into P2, there's a chance I get Lightning Rod, which will pull away any potential Eerie Impulse. I could also Heal Pulse the Reshiram. I think that's actually a pretty decent play. I can see them going for a Geyser into Reshiram here. Okay, they're going to Protect, but I think a Quake should be enough to KO them here. They have Max Strike. Hyper Beam? Feeny does hold on. Thank you, lefties. Heal Pulse is not going to do anything because I am at full HP. And Raichu does go down. Sick. Alright. Alright. So now Reshiram's got that AV boost, got that special defense boost. Feeny's going to heal up a little more. Misty Terrain is up, so I can't get status at all. Bronzong is going to come in, meaning they are probably going to set Rain this turn. So I want to Flare into the Bronzong. And I'm going to set a Mist just in the off chance that they have their Intimidator in the back. Okay, Bronzong's going to Protect, but this is also Max Flare in the Sun currently. Okay, there is the Geyser. I'm assuming this is into Feeny to pick up the KO. I was really hoping Feeny would clutch that and live, but they are going to change their weather, so Bronzong is definitely going to live this Max Flare, but I also take away their weather again, which is going to be good. So now Sun is set as well. There's the leftover reveal on the Bronzong. I don't want to bring in P2 because I could set set Rain, and I don't want to do that. So I want to potentially try to Solar Beam this Kyogre this turn. Max Strike tells me that they are most likely Assault Vest on Kyogre. So they should be able to live a Solar Beam, I would think. So I actually want to target down the Bronzong, I think. Last one probably is Reshiram in the back. I'm going to drop a blue flare on the Bronzong, and I'm going to set up Trick Room here. If they want to switch into the Landorus here, I'm completely fine with that. Because Glacial Land should just be able to one-shot them even through. Okay, they're just going to withdraw Bronzong. That's also fine because now I remove their Landorus and I get to maintain weather control because they're not going to be able to switch out after this turn. Calyrex naturally avoids the Origin Pulse. Reshiram's not going to take basically anything from this. Holy cow. Landorus immediately gets decimated and our opponent concedes on the spot. Guys, this team's really good. This team has done nothing but impress me so far. Alright, hard Trick Room here from our opponent with P2 and Calyrex. They also have Amoonguss, Indeedee, Palkia, and Ensign to round it out. I really like Ensign here. I think I really like Feeny as well. I could go for Dynamax Eliki here to take away their terrain and also to... actually, I have Feeny for Amoonguss control. I don't feel like I need Eliki for that reason. Reshiram's really interesting when we're facing down Palkia. I think I definitely want P2. I think I want Reshiram and then Ensign Calyrex in the back. See, this game's really weird because I don't know if I want Trick Room to go up or not. That's like the weird part of this game. And I just talked about how Amoonguss is going to be like not so great because I have Eliki and Feeny and then I didn't bring either of them. This game's really weird. I really don't know if I want Trick Room to go up or not. If I want to play the game of like preventing my opponent's Trick Room. Which, with the lead I have, I think the answer is I want to prevent it. But I also don't want to just willy-nilly click it to prevent them from setting it. If they want to set it, I can just reverse it. This is going to be Palkia plus Ensign up front. I think I want to... See, this is really awkward because I could Quake into the Ensign, but they're most likely Shuka. So I get to eat their Shuka. They could also Parting Shot off of me. So I could just stay in an Earth Power and see what they do. I could also just drop a Draco on them. I think dropping a Draco on Palkia is actually pretty good here. And then I'm going to Eerie Impulse their Palkia as well. If they don't go for Fake Out and they go for Parting Shot instead, then like Palkia just takes a ton of damage here and they get their special attack drop, so they just can't Dynamax it the following turn. Even if they do go for Fake Out, I feel okay about my position because I can pivot Reshiram out into Calyrex next turn, and then I have access to... Yeah, they're just immediately Parting Shotting. They are faster than my Reshiram, which is really absurd. This is probably Calyrex coming in if I was a betting man. Which is fine because I also have Foul Play on Porygon. No, it's Indeedee coming in. Okay. They're Psychic Seed. Okay, perfect. They're going to Spatial Rend. I am Assault Vest, so I should take this. Not well, but I do take it. And that wasn't even a crit. Was that a crit? No? Holy cow. Alright, so now they're -2. I don't want to let Calyrex just get hit on the way in. But I also really want to preserve this. I think we go to Ensign here. And I could click Trick Room this turn, anticipating them to click it. But, like, again, if Trick Room goes up, I don't feel all that disincentivized. Like, I don't feel bad about Trick Room going up if it does. Okay, they're going to withdraw the Palkia. They're going to go back into their Ensign, which is perfect because, one, they cannot fake me out, and two, I get to intimidate their Ensign here. Yep, there's the follow me, not really surprised. Here is the foul play. Not going to do a whole lot, but, you know, we did do damage. That's all that matters. I could... Is it crazy to max Ensign? Is that just crazy? I think it is. I could max guard this turn. I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to parting shot off of their Ensign, and I'm going to click Trick Room this turn. This will let me potentially bring in Calyrex. And I get a parting shot off of whatever they bring in here, which is in fact their Palkia. Okay, there's the heal pulse. It's obviously pretty annoying, but not the end of the world. Because now I get to safely bring in Calyrex and set up Trick Room. So now I can click Glacial Lance. Unfortunately, P2 is faster than... It is slower than my Calyrex. I don't think it's correct to Dynamax Calyrex. I think it is correct to just click Glacial Lance this turn. And I'm going to foul play the Palkia slot. I can see them swapping Palkia out into Ensign. I can also see them trying to reverse Trick Room here. This is a weird one. This game is very, very bizarre. Okay, there is the follow me. This looks like they're going to try to reverse Trick Room. More chip into the Indy. Glacial Lance hopefully will pick up the KO on that now. So even if Ensign does come out this next turn... Oh, that's so close. I do get the Grimnay boost, so I am going to go to +1. So if Ensign does come out here, it's just going to be another Spatial Rend. Okay. This time into P2, who honestly takes that way better than I anticipated. Again, like, they didn't crit. They are at -1. So, like, not really surprised. Like, P2 actually took that pretty well, all things considered. Most likely going to be Ensign coming out here. Yep, there's the Ensign. I could max Calyrex now and go for the Max Quake and foul play the Palkia to pick up the KO there. And I still do have my Ensign in the back, so if they do have their own Calyrex, I can actually Intimidate Cycle it. This most likely is just going to eat a Shuka Berry this turn, but them not switching Ensign out means that they're not going to be able to switch it out again. This could just be Parting Shot into my Calyrex, which would be kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. Foul Play does pick up the Palkia this turn. And no Shuka Berry on the Ensign either. Let's say that actually holds on. Are they Focus Sash? Focus Sash Ensign. Dang. Okay. So if they do go for Parting Shot here, it's actually pretty bad. They do just go, in fact, for Will-O-Wisp instead, though. So this is actually really interesting because I could Foul Play my Calyrex to then trigger my Weakness Policy to be able to deal with whatever they bring in. Naturally, it is their own Calyrex here, so I'm probably just going to bring in Ensign. I could Hailstorm their Calyrex, which will let me KO the Ensign. I think it's just appropriate to Max Quake, though. Pick up the extra KO and cycle into Ensign here. I do still have my Reshiram in the back as well. So if they do have their own Max Quake into the P2 this turn, I have my Shuka Berry. Fake Out is back online because Psychic Terrain is over. If I am able to stall out the rest of my Trick Room, I could just go for Parting Shots into the Calyrex to prevent them from like really stacking up. Extra stat boost here. There's no way this isn't just a Dynamax Calyrex, right? Yep. So they are -1. I'm going to go to +1, but I'm burnt. I also have these couple special defense boosts, but that doesn't really matter in front of Calyrex. There is... Oh, they have Unnerve. I'm dumb. But Ensign's just a god, so it's okay. Gonna take a little damage from my burn. I could Throat Chop my own Calyrex here to give me my +2. But I am currently slower than... How many turns of Trick Room are left? This is the last turn of Trick Room. I think I'm just going to go into P2. It should take a -1 Quake. Essentially 0 damage. Got it. There's their Max Quake into P2. It takes that really well and can now click Recover. Alright, Dynamax is over. Trick Room is over. They have 1 turn of Dynamax left on their side. Yeah, I think we just click High Horsepower and we click Recover here. There might have been an argument to swap out Calyrex for Ensign to put them to -2. I think that's the play this turn, and then we can click recover again. Will-O-Wisp, Focus Sash, Ensign is not something I expected to play against today. And we will switch into Ensign. And click recover one more time. This will put me to full. Puts them to -2, so even if they get a KO here, they're still... Oh! That's interesting. That's very interesting. So this turn... I think I want to Flare Blitz to trigger their policy and then foul play them. Is that extremely greedy? Yes. Is it the play I'm going to make? 100%. They're faster than my Ensign. Well, that's really bad. Because I planned on using that. But they're at +1 now. So this actually should do a decent chunk. I would classify that as a decent chunk. Because now Reshiram can come in. And as long as we connect, we should win. Which our only 100% accurate moves are Earth Power and Solar Beam. I didn't trigger a policy. Are they Lum? Interesting. Really, really fun game. Like the fact that like we didn't want Trick Room, but we did because it was beneficial, but it wasn't. Those Trick Room mirrors are really cool. I'm a fan of them. So I love everything about this team. After getting to play with it, I think this team is obviously very, very well constructed. The synergy between Reshiram and Calyrex I think is very good. Unfortunately, you know, we did lose a game because Blue Flare and Draco Meteor are not 100% accurate, and had they been, we could have easily won. We missed 2 over the course of 3 turns, and it cost us the game. P2 was good. P2 was fantastic, in fact. Feeny was very good as well. You know, we got to click Mist at least twice. We got to Nature's Madness some stuff. It was great. Eliki was very, very good as well. There's nothing negative I can say about this team other than I wish Reshiram had more accurate attacks. But that is not a Reshiram, like, that is not a team building problem. That is a Reshiram problem. So all things considered, this team's fantastic. I am definitely going to keep playing this. I think this team is very good. I think it's very well positioned in the current format. And I could see this being a very good front runner for like one of the best teams. I think that moving forward, this is going to have to be something that people are aware of and need to be conscious of in team building decisions. And honestly, I'm a big fan of it. I think you could probably swap the Shuka off of Ensign to be another item. I'm not sure exactly what. You could do the eject button Ensign thing, just because you are slower than opposing Ensigns. So in the event that you both come out on the same turn, you get hit with Fake Out, you get out of dodge. I just think that's because of if Calyrex becomes more popular, Unnerve is going to become more relevant against it, and as a result, Shuka is going to be much worse. But that being said, I think this team's still very good, and am definitely looking forward to laddering with this more in my off time. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you next week with some more laddering. Have a good one.